Yes, once again, good evening, good afternoon, good morning, good night to some of you, depending on your time zone. This is Radio Biafra Israel, for the avoidance of doubt, a live broadcast on this very fateful day. Radio Biafra Israel is streaming live through Radio Biafra London, being anchored by the deputy leader of the indigenous people of Biafra, Mazi Uchi Ukafomefo. He is from Abatete. Abatete is in Anambra State, and Anambra State is Biafra land. Mazi Uchi Ukafomefo is the man who have assured us that he will not allow the heart of this project to see corruption. And by the special grace of God, he has stood by his words to this very moment. And I tell you, nobody like him. Of course, he's standing in a deputizing capacity on behalf of our Supreme Leader, Mazen Nandi Ukukano, the Prince of Afari Beku, heir to the throne of Ibeku Kingdom. The man who stood up to speak for the collective interest of the Biafran people. For almost 6 decades, nobody has been able to do that. He is from Umuahia. Umuahia is in Abia State, and Abia State is Biafra land. And by the special grace of Chukwuki Kabiam, I remain George Onyibe. I am from Abo. Abo is in Delta State. Delta State is Biafra land. Without wasting much of our time, this is yet another segment where we talk about issues as concerns us as a people. Matters of utmost importance, I must say. Another moment of going back to your root. We must go back to our root. Back to our root. That is the theme. And the topic we have been considering, the 7 pillars of our culture. For the past 2 days now, we've been looking into different angles of our culture. But I want us to remain focused. I want us to understand where we are going to. We are not here to undo anybody. We are not here to criticize anybody. We are not here to condemn anybody. We are not here to prove our knowledge is supreme or superior to the other. We are here to assume, to dig out all the truth concerning about us as a people. Because the 7 pillars that governs or uphold every society must be restored. Tonight, we are supposed to move ahead to look at the second bridge, the second pillar of our culture. But of course, we must exhaust every avenue regarding the first study of the first pillar, which was the medical aspect of it. We made you to understand, in the light of the Western world, they have different types of doctors for clarity's sake. You have doctors who are specialized in taking care of children, pregnant women, treating of bone, taking care of drugs, taking care of blind people, and so on and so forth. We just look at some of them. And in the course of this study, people called in. They tried to share their testimony. And I will not come here except there is something you must benefit. I will not give up this 1 hour just trying to talk. Our intention is to make you see. Our intention is to make you benefit. Our intention is to make you know the truth. That in the end, you will be free, totally liberated, emancipating yourself from mental slavery. Understanding that what our ancestors left for us, there are more than enough to have a fulfilled life. Without wasting much of our time, most of you were asking me about our sister who called and was telling us how she went through some medical challenges, health challenges, I should say, and what she did, and she was able to recover. And I say it's my privilege tonight, I will be bringing her in. And then there is another brother who has 1 or 2 things to tell us. He's going to tell you, Biafrans, that you know the herb you need to take. Did I say you should not take Ataramasin and Urubumasin? You can take Aquaramasin and Kakamasin. 1 chabon, 6 on jonjo. You can take them, it's okay. You know, you have metamorphosed. But then we must go back to our root. Because with all the Ataramasin and Urubumasin, our fathers who took this very drug you are condemning, your even the people, even the Ogomo, even the herbalist, the native doctor, even the DBA, they even condemn the very drug they do. Then how will I blame the medical doctors? How will I blame the pastors? How will I, of course, a man don't condemn these native drugs. And I want to see, if you are a Biafran, you are a custodian of our traditional medicine, please, when our lines are open, take this line, circulate it to them, inbox me, we will bring you on. We don't want sickness and disease in Biafra land. It's not part of us. We will begin to see sickness and disease in the life of Biafran people when Biafra men begin to sleep with Yoruba and Hausa. When Biafra women begin to sleep with Yoruba and Hausa, that is when this sickness come to us. Did you not read your Bible? For I will not allow any of these diseases of the Egyptians to come to you. But now when you break the law of God, they come to you. Look at our Fulani. They are the one looting Nigeria in support, in collaboration with the British government for as long as we can remember. But go and look at them. Every form of disease, but there are diseases called Kwankwasu. When you hear that man, they say his name is Kwankwasu. Don't you know there is a disease called Kwankwasu in the area? But they are the one looting. They are the one in control of everyone. They are the one everywhere. They even collect pretenses from British government after looting Biafra land. They are willing to use in the hand of the British government. He say, above all things, I wish that as you prosper, that you also may live in health. Your health is wet. Wake up. But of course, the Hausa Fulani, they understand this truth. The Yoruba, they understand this truth. What of you, Biafra? You Biafrans, you are speaking English. Ataramasen, Arubumasen, Arakamasen, Ajakamasen, Ajugujumasen. So I have two people this evening who will give us, lecture us on one or two herbs. And then from our next study, by the grace of Chukwu Kikabiama, we look into the second pillar of our culture. Do not forget, this is Radio Biafra Extra and a very live broadcast. I'll be back in a minute. Yes, without wasting much of our time, I will be going to bring in our sister from Biafra land, who explained to us the challenges she went through, how she was able to overcome. It is because you need to know. Those of you who have pile, those of you who have one sickness or the other, believe me, before the end of this program, you will be delivered. This is not Yoruba church pastor deliverance. No. The flower in your compound, the trees, the bushes around you, all of them are for medicine. Have you not read Genesis? He said he give them herb. Until you start depending on Ataramasen and Urubumasen and Aquaramasen. This is where he landed us. I will be going direct to Nwada Uloma 1 of Biafra land. Nwada, can you hear me?
Good evening, Mazi Onyibe.
Good evening, Nwachineke.
Good evening, Biafra. Good morning and good night to some of you, depending on the respective zones. My name is Nwada Doris Uloma Benjamin. Me, Hakamno. I'm from Amata Kedru, Owerri province, but calling from Aba province. Let me also thank our great leader, Mazi Nnamdi Karu, and our deputy director, and all the principal officers working for the restoration of our Biafra, of our beloved nation, Biafra. Please, my people, my Biafran sisters and brothers, I am here to testify. It's not just a cock and bull story. This is live testimony from Wada Uloma. Please, I'm here to give my testimony, and I believe all of you will listen to me very, very well. I will be using my words interchangeably. For the total cure of ulcer, gallbladder enlargement, heart failure. Gallbladder enlargement, ulcer is onya nke ime afọ maka ndị nne na nna anyị katara ahụ, onya nke ime afọ. Gallbladder enlargement, elu nke zara aza. Heart failure, obi nke na-alụtụ ala. Na nje ndị nke na-anọkwa ime ahụ ndị oyibo na-akpọ infection. Then use Elizabeth leaf. Like from my father's place, we used to call it Elizabeth. Some people used to call it independent leaf, while some call it akwụkwọ zik. Others call it abolowo leaf, depending your side in Biafra land. Just take the leaf and wash it very, very well with salt and water. Then rinse properly, and you have to crush it together very well. Add some quantity of water just to bring out the greenish water from it. Then store in a refrigerator for your own use. Then start taking it at least 2 shots morning and evening before going to bed. You can also take it with small quantity of liquid milk, or you can take it with white pap, akamu. Take it constantly for at least 1 month. All your diseases will be cured. I am not just saying this just for saying sake. If you want to believe, you believe it. But my doctor was very, very surprised to see my result, because I have this gallbladder. I took this very leaf because of ulcer, and I've got my habit. The gallbladder enlargement that I had was cured, and so many others. Even the infection, I begin to notice that the infection, they are all gone. And I have another lecture to give, or testimony again. This one is the one that happened to my cousin's daughter. For curing of ear itch, abunti, yogo abunti. Bring the tender leaf of ogrish. Ogrish, because na no olumna balia ogrish na Biafra land. Ogrish we have to demarcate the band of land between Mr. Obi to Mr. A to Mr. Whosoever it may be. This ogrish, you people know it in Biafra land. Ogrish, when you take a tender leaf from that very ogrish, the fresh one, crush it very, very well and bring out the water put 1 to 2 drops into the troubled ear, and it will all go away. It will be a bygone story, my brothers and sisters. This is a life story. Then, for curing of early stage of diabetic, use tender akwụkwọ mango. Dry it up under the sun, grind it, and start using it as like top tea. I mean the powder. The powder. Soak it overnight and drink the water in the morning. Then, for high blood pressure, drink akwụkwọ mango. Why I'm saying this is because of the Zulu people. Drink akwụkwọ mango, wash it very well with salt, and put it in a cooking pot. Cook it very well. Allow it to boil very well so that it will turn to greenish. The water will be green, will be brown. When you cook it, allow it to cool. You put it in a maybe like ever water to start taking it. 1 shot or 2 shots. 1 in the morning, 1 in the evening. This is a life testimony. It's not just a brainwashed story that pastors will go and tell you, you are this, you sow seed, you harvest seed. This is a life story. My doctor was even interested to know the names of the leaf, and they started asking me how to process it and everything. I said, doctor, now if one interested, you got abolish it, you will take my head, me home and all. He will talk about it. He started laughing. After everything, I just left the hospital without letting him know the whole story of it. So my brothers and sisters, I'm calling from Aba. This is Wanda Oloma. This is my story. Share my life story, my testimony.
Thank you very much.
Thank you very
much for joining us this evening.
Thank you, my
and people be with you. Our people must understand 1 or 2 things I must point out before we go to the next person. You should understand. I know the level of your understanding. You are so advanced. You are so civilized, even more than the Europeans, even more than the Americans, even more than the Chinese. You are more advanced than all of them. And you're going to say, how can I take those things? These people are mad. They think we are in the 20th century, but you have diabetes. Because one thing I know is that 90% of these people you are looking at, they are big men. 90% of them have diabetes. They're dying silently. That is why most big men don't feed you. They don't help you. As a poor man, they prefer you to die of hunger. I have experienced them firsthand. I know a woman so wicked. In her fridge, you will see live goat, live cow, live chicken, live everything. But she will cook different kind of food, watch them rot away, and she will throw them away. And I don't understand why she does that. She barely eats. She eats grounded cassava, plantain. She buy unripe plantain, pieces them, dry it on the sun. When it's properly dry, she will grind it, turn it into a powder, be turning it like a semovita. And when she eats soup, okra soup, almost all the time I know her, she eats 2 types of okra soup. The one they call ekaka. They buy okra, pieces the okra, dry it in the sun. It becomes dried and black. They won't put palm oil. And I was like, what is it? She eats selected fish. You know, we have to travel distance to look for bread that have fiber. Until one day I knew she has diabetes. But what I cannot comprehend is, with all the money she has, instead of her to be doing good, so Chuko Kikabiama may have mercy on her. Of course, she's done no Chuko Kikabiama, so I don't blame her. She preferred to cook this food and throw it away. Since I will die with diabetes, let other people die with hunger. That is how some wicked people, but let me not digress. But you can be cured. You can be healed. Because you see, he has given to us all that pertinent life and godliness. Our sister was a victim. She survived. I will begin to our brother who have one or two advice to give us also. Understand our target is going home. If our people dependent on their own traditional medicine, I don't think there will be anything like Washoko. I don't think so. But I will get back to you. Yes, sir, without wasting much of our time, I will be going to Mazi Umeka Naya. He has one or two things to tell us about his experience and going back to your root. Can you hear me, Mazi Umeka Naya?
Yes. My name is Mr. Umeka Naya. I'm from Imo State. Please, I want to talk about natural medicine in Igbo land. Everybody in Africa, in Biafra land, please hear me now. Omenala is more important than religion. All those churches are deceiving people. There's nothing like Omenala. Please, carry pen and write, carry Bible and write whatever I'm telling you down now. For example, if you have an ulcer, if you want to treat ulcer very big, there is one leaf we used to call opete. In Igbo land, everybody knows it as opete. Just bring that stick of opete and come out all the leaf and put it, wash it very well, put it inside mortar and pound it very, very well. We need only the water. Just carry the water, put inside one bottle or of local Z or bottle water, about 2. Drink it one in the morning and one in the night with shots. Try it for 2 bottles of local Z before you finish it. See whether you can see ulcer in your stomach again in your life. Number 1. Number 2. When you have still we call pile. Everybody knows what is called pile. It's an English, I don't know in Igbo name. The Igbo
name is Okbo.
Okay. We used to call it a pile in English. I don't know Igbo name. And it's one leaf we used to call let me remember the name of that leaf. Opoka. That is Ngwa language. We used to call that leaf Opokai in Ngwa language. Please, if you don't know what is called Opokai in Igbo language, please you can ask any Ngwa man who is around where you are. You love that means Opokai. Just carry the upper side, the virgin side, the fresher one. Carry this thing, saliva, also, just rub it on top, carry it, put it inside your nyash, carry pants and cover it. Just try it for only 1 month and see whether you can have, try it for 1 month and see whether you can have pile in your life. That will withdraw the whole pile. If you do it the next day, just whether another one. See whether you can see pile again. Then, number 3. There is one leaf we used to call, that is a small something like a seed, we used to call Onyibe. Onyibe, we know it as one small thing. We used to call it Nimboland. It's red and black. Just bring red, bring 9 pieces of that Onyibe. Bring alligator pepper, osoji, 9 pieces. Grind it very, very, very well, like powder. It's a natural something for protection for your body, for anti-poison. If you grind it very, very well, carry laser, draw your body, your chest about 3 times this side, 3 places this side, 3 places this side. Your hand, this side, carry that and rub there. Leave it, let that thing dry. Anti-poison. If somebody gives you a process, penetrate your body again. It's a very minor something. Then number 4. Please, I'm not saying this because of those people who are thief, or it's not for thief, but if you carry it go and thief, you will die. It's for record purpose.
No, don't tell them about that.
Okay, let me leave that one.
Yes,
if they shoot you, let me tell you, the medicine will take a rub there, that bullet will come out.
Why I say so is, okay, if they shoot you, what you will do?
Can I say that one?
Yes, what you will do when they shoot you, the bullet will come out. Say that, but don't tell them.
Okay. Okay. See, if any bullet goes inside your body, if you want to remove that bullet, we used to call. There's a one woman who talk in the morning about Awolowo. Awolowo work a lot of things. And that's why I didn't explain how we use that Awolowo in his body to grab that medicine. Just carry that Awolowo water. Just rub it in your hand. Rub it in your hand well. Carry like alligator pepper, mix it. Chew it in your mouth and mix it. And pour it in that mouth of that thing. When you drop the water there, carry the leaf and drop there. Then in the morning, if you do it in the morning, in the evening again, do it. You see that blood inside will follow your vein and just come out from that place. That is what is called the just a small thing. But I will not tell you the other one for gunshot or the other one.
Yes, don't tell them. DSS.
Then another time I want to talk, please. There was a one man who called in the morning and talk about it something. Please, whenever you want to say something, explain the name of that leaf and how you are going to use that leaf. Not for you to cut it on the way. Nobody can listen, can learn what you are talking. You understand me? So, Judge Onyibe, goodbye for your lecture. We are giving the radio for Biafra, please.
Thank you very much. Thank you for joining us tonight. We must continue. Good night for now. Yes, of course, our brother and our sister have tried to point out to us one of the ailments we encounter, we experience on a daily basis as Biafrans. And they have said 1 or 2 things you need to do. Understand there is a reason why we are doing what we are doing. But somewhere along the line, one day you will understand. There is a particular one you wanted to say, I say you should not. For there is a reason for it. We must go back to our root. We must embrace our medical culture, our traditional medicine. They say tradomedical. We must get involved. Somebody asked a question and say, this leaf now that answers the name of our enemy, or the Kwegu, you are right, honestly. Because the Awolowo leaf, they call it Awolowo leaf, they call it a different name. I wonder what they call it in Igbo name. But that notwithstanding, I was taught in school then that Awolowo leaf, as they call it, Ojuku leaf or Zik leaf, was not actually found in our land before the war. That those countries who tried to make sure Biafrans are not wiped out, while they were bringing stockfish and all that things, they brought those leaves to our land. I don't know how true it is. Or probably those leaves were there before, but we really don't know what they were used for until some of the Irish people, some of those people who came to help our people during the genocidal war, introduced them to that leaf. I was taught that because there were lack of iodine solution, iodine to stop bleeding, they introduced them to this Awolowo leaf. And so if you have a cut in your flesh, just squeeze the awolowo leaf with your saliva, drop the liquid there, and that is the end of that injury. Like always, I will open our direct line. Maybe you have one or two things to say before we wrap up this segment. This is Radio Biafra Extra for the avoidance of doubt. I'll be back in a minute. Yes, sir. At this moment, only one line is open, and that is our direct line. You can call in if you have anything to say in just a few minutes. And when you call, just a minute. Our direct line is 081-221-52971. Our direct line, once again, is 081-221-52971. Caller on the line, your name and where are you calling from? Caller on the line. Caller on the line. Good evening from here. Your name and where are you calling from?
Okay, my name is Godwin. I'm calling from Tialangwa, Kumeka, and Biafra land. Hello.
Go ahead, please. You have 1 minute.
Okay, I just want to call the name of that leaf in Igbo language. It's Manning Gate.
The Awolo will leave.
Yes, Awolo will leave. It's Manning Gate in Igbo language. Just call it Manning Gate. So anybody that has the mood in that, just Manning Gate for that.
Thank you very much. I hope they heard you. Thank you. We must continue. Caller on the line, your name and where are you calling from?
Good evening to you, Mazi God. Good evening.
Good evening. 1 minute.
Thank you very much. Good evening, fellow Biafrans. The blessing of people will be with us. And for those that love Biafrans, we will keep us moving forward. By the strength of people to Biafra, we must remain firm. My name is Hugo from Enugu Province. This evening, Thursday, I want to say the indigenous people of Biafra, we must continue to look forward for the total restoration of our land, despite the effort and the wicked people that they are making to stop us. We will not relent. I want to give glory to people of Biafra. Our people that is in prison this evening, they are out. But there are some other people that is in prison also. There are so many of them are in detention.
Please, this is not the time to give any report. This is the time to discuss about our medical, traditional medicine. Please, if you are calling for any other purpose, don't do that. After this segment, we move to another segment. Please. Caller on the line, your name and where are you calling from?
Hello, good evening, sir.
Good evening. I hope you are following this program.
Yes, sir.
Go ahead.
May Chukwuobioma bless you all. I see the work you do again to secure our people. Sir, may God bless you all. My name is Ezir. I'm calling from Ohofia. Ohofia.
Go ahead, please, your input this evening.
Yes, sir. My input is I want to tell all the Biafran people that we have our own medicine. Let us go back to our own originated. And our input, Chukwuobioma has given to us. Yes, I'm calling from Ohofia.
But of course, he was listening to his radio. That is how it always is. Yes, caller on the line, your name and where are you calling from?
Hello, Master Onyibe.
Good evening. Your name and where you calling from? You have 1 minute.
Okay, my name is Peter Madam. I'm calling from Abba.
Go ahead, please.
Okay, yes. For our medical this we are talking about this evening. I want to talk about that I want to use that is a morning grade in Uber language. But I want to also tell how to use that morning grade to cure ulcer. To cure ulcer.
Go ahead, please. You have 1 minute. Go ahead.
Okay, now I want to if you have ulcer. If you have ulcer, as I was talking, if you have
your problem is you're calling and you're listening to your radio. When are we going to learn? When you call, ignore your radio. Call on the line, your name and where are you calling from? 1 minute.
Yes, my name is Alex. I'm calling from Enugu.
Go ahead, please.
Yes, the botanic name we call it in Igbo, in our own dialect, is Onyibe Njamure. That so-called Awolowo leaf is called Onyibe Njamure, and it's very, very effective in what they have just discussed. And I'm very happy to have this line too, George. You are my mentor. I love you. Keep on keeping on. Thank you, sir.
Thank you. We must continue. Our people must understand all these things. We must embrace our culture. From the land upon which our umbilical is buried, we will get to that. You don't know why they are chasing you out of your land. It's so that you will be disconnected from your umbilical. The land will no longer fight for you. They are in your bushes. They are in your forest. Our women can't go to farm any longer. Our men will be hunted down. And everybody is running away from the village to the city. And most of our children, the umbilical is buried in the city. Where we are an alien, a stranger. How will your mother earth fight for you? You may not understand what we are saying. But soon you will understand that there will be no spiritual except first of all there was physical. Neither could they be physical except first of all there was spiritual. For there will be no positive without negative. Neither will there be negative without positive. When you call, you have 1 minute. Call on the line, your name and where are you calling from?
Hello?
Yes, you are on. Your name and where are you calling from?
Okay.
And what is your input tonight?
I am Dr. Wilson from Biafra.
Go ahead, Mazi.
Of things that Awolowo live can do in human body life. And I'm happy that really we, the Biafras, we are ready to cut ourselves from this line funding. But my own focus is that this leaf is very, very essential. So everybody should go back to our native medicine, natural medicine, so that we can help ourselves without the English one. Thank you.
Thank you, my brother. Thank you for your input. Can you hear me, caller on the line? Everybody, we all have leaves, herbs. If you know more outside these ones that have been discussed this evening, please, the line is open for you. Caller on the line, your name and where are you calling from? Caller on the line, are you there? Of course, that is Zoo Epileptic Network. One more call, we will wrap up this segment. Caller on the line, your name and where are you calling from?
hello.
Yes, good evening, your name and where are you calling from? Your input.
Hello.
I think that guy is not with us. One more caller, then we'll wrap up this segment. Can you hear me? Caller on the line.
Yes, good evening.
Good evening from here. Your name and where are you calling from? What is your input?
Dr. Eze, I appreciate it. I'm trying to say about that from the source. That's what we call it in my place. I don't have a indeed.
I think that is network problem, but we must continue. It's amazing. The leaf found in our land, they call it Awolowo leaf. The leaf found in our land, you can't see it in Yoruba land. If at all you see that, but they come to our land and name it Yoruba land. Is there any leaf in Yoruba land they call Omenike or Chukuma? Is there any leaf in Hausa they call Chukwude? They have done evil to us to the extent that the leaves in our land, they call one Awolowo. May God have mercy upon us. Call on the line your name and where are you calling from?
Hello. Good evening, sir. George Onyibe.
Good evening. Your input, please. Go straight to the
My
point.
name is Uche Godfrey. I'm calling from Aba, from GTC Zone. I want to use this opportunity to thank you and Supreme Leader Mazi Nnamdi Kanu for what you people have been doing for us. We have been suffering in this Nigeria for long. We are ready to go. And now, I'm calling from GTC Zone in Aba. We greet our Supreme Leader. Thank you very much.
Thank you, and God bless you. This will be our last caller for this segment. Now, for the avoidance of doubt. Most of these leave had name in Igbo dialect, English dialect, up to the extent some even have name in Yoruba dialect. Do not worry about that. When you are discussing with your friend, use wisdom. You know, the Bible says wisdom is profitable. So in all that getting, get wisdom. Use wisdom, use idea. Say, here we get to leave, then they call Apatashi. You know, the name is hard anyway, don't mind me. Or they say Zik leave or Awolowo leave or maybe Buhari leave anyway. But just listening to this audio, you will understand. Ask people, they will direct you. It's common, although it used to be common in those days anyway. And now we have talked about this leave more here on Radio Biafra. The Fulani Caliphate government terrorists of Nigeria will soon ban the leave. Just be watching. As I sign off from here, remain focused. We just looked briefly into the first pillar of our culture. We have 7 pillars that hold our culture. We just looked into one. I promise our next study on this segment, we will be looking at our food, which is the second pillar that sustains or hold our culture. Remember, blessed, we are going home, and there is no two ways about it. God be with you.